Hello all. Today's topic is structure of nephron and urine formation in just 3 steps. If the question is asked, draw a neat label diagram of structural and functional units of kidney, we must know that the structural and functional units of kidney are nephron. Nephrons are also called as uriniferous tubules. There are 1.3 to 1.8 million number of nephrons in each kidney. Each nephron has two parts. One is Malpighian body and the other is renal tubule. This one. Malpighian body has two parts. Glomerulus, Bowman's capsule. This red color mesh-like structure is called glomerulus and this cup-shaped body is called Bowman's capsule. Then in the renal tubule there are three parts. One is this proximal convoluted tubule, which is called as in short PCT, and this distal convoluted tubule in short called as DCT. PCT and DCT are connected by a loop called loop of Henle. DCT then opens into the collecting tube. This is the collecting tube. Collecting tube from each nephron collects the urine and finally comes out of the kidney as ureter. Ureter pass this urine into the urinary bladder where the urine will be stored temporarily for some time before we excrete it outside. So, during the formation of urine, there are 3 steps. In the first step, we have a renal artery coming from the heart. This renal artery carries oxygenated blood but contains so many wastes, extra water and some nutrient molecules, some ions and all. Now this renal artery branches as afferent artery and enters the nephron. In the nephron, this again branches so many times and gives off a bunch of blood vessels called glomerulus. From the glomerulus, one more branch of artery comes out called as efferent artery. The artery which is entering the nephron is called as afferent artery, this one, and the artery which is exiting the nephron is called as efferent artery, this one. Later, the efferent artery coils around the nephron like this and gives off so many branches, finally comes out as renal vein. This is the renal vein. If we observe, the diameter of afferent artery is more compared to the diameter of efferent artery. Efferent artery's diameter is less. Because of this reason, the pressure inside the glomerulus blood vessels increases. Due to this pressure, if there are any light particles, all those particles can easily squeeze out of the blood vessel and they can enter into the Bowman's capsule. That means the blood is getting filtered in the glomerulus and the filtering materials and all going into the Bowman's capsule. So this filtering is happening because of the lesser diameter in the afferent artery of the glomerulus, and because of this less diameter, pressure is increasing. So this is happening because of high pressure. That's why this first step is called as pressure filtration or also called as glomerulus filtration. if we can see, there are some black colored cells present in this Bowman's capsule edge. These cells are very thin and they can help in easily absorbing whatever the materials that are coming from the glomerulus. So if we see, the first step of the urine formation is glomerular filtration. This is also called as pressure filtration. Here the materials are getting exchanged between glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. From the glomerulus, few things are traveling into the Bowman's capsule. What exactly those materials are? Some waste molecules, some nutrient molecules, and some amount of water. As a result, we get the primary urine. Now this primary urine enters the proximal convoluted tubule, that is PCT, where the second step of the urine formation takes place. So if you can see here, all this yellow color thing that we have drawn is the urine. This whole yellow thing is urine. So from this Bowman's capsule, urine now has entered the proximal convoluted tubule. If you see the second step and go through the arrows, you can observe arrow marks are going from this PCT into the peritubular capillaries, which is the network of blood vessels. So in the second stage of urine formation, few things are going out from the PCT to the proximal convoluted tubule. This step is called tubular reabsorption. That means these tubes, this peritubular capillaries are reabsorbing whatever the important materials present in the urine back into the blood. Unless they are essential, it will not reabsorb, right? So this process is called tubular reabsorption. Second step, tubular reabsorption is happening between PCT and peritubular capillaries. Few things are traveling from the PCT into the peritubular capillaries. Mostly these things should be essential for our body. That's why our blood is taking it back from the urine. So these materials are glucose, amino acids, vitamin C, potassium, calcium, sodium, chlorine, and 75% of water. All these things will be reabsorbed from the PCT into the peritubular capillaries where the blood is present. Then the third stage is called tubular secretion. In the tubular secretion, if you can see the arrows over here, the green colored ones, few things are going from the peritubular capillaries, these ones, back into the loop of Henle or into the DCT. That means if there are any non-essential things in the blood, they will go back into the urine. So here in the third step, which is the tubular secretion, few waste materials will go out of the peritubular capillaries into the loop of Henle and into the DCT. So in the tubular secretion, what exactly the materials which are traveling from the peritubular capillaries and into the loop of Henle and DCT are urea, uric acid, creatinine, potassium ions, sodium ions, and H+ ions. All these are not useful for the body, rather they are very toxic to the body. That's why we need to eliminate it from the blood. So in the blood of peritubular capillaries, from there all these things will go back into the urine present in the loop of Henle and DCT. urine from the DCT enters the collecting tube. Here in the collecting tube, if any extra water is there, that water will be absorbed into the blood vessels, that is the pericapillary tubules. So for that, one hormone is responsible. That hormone is called vasopressin hormone, also called as antidiuretic hormone. If the urine present in this collecting tube is very dilute, if there is more water in the urine, then vasopressin hormone will release and make the urine into a concentrated urine. And if there is a problem in our body, in our hormonal system, and the vasopressin hormone cannot able to release at that time, then we will pass out such dilute urine only. There will be no absorption of water from the urine into the peritubular capillaries. In such case, we release out dilute urine and we often feel like going to the urination. Such condition is called diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus. So that much